Hello, I'm back again with all my cutting done. Hope you've managed to. And what I've done is I emptied this, nearly emptied it again then. I emptied this with my others and I've added in the ones that we sort of did together plus the colours. I've now done the other colours. So they're all in there, all ready to go. I'm just going to pop those to one side for now. And what I'm going to ask you to do now is to take those two pieces of thick basic white. Okay. And we're going to pop one of them in our trimmer. I'm hoping you can see that. And we're going to pop it in portrait, so vertically. And we're going to cut this at 14.8. And cut it. You will be left with this strip, and that is perfect for doing some more die cuts. Now, we're going to flip it, we're going to turn it, but please move your cutter out of the way and use the scorer. Don't use the cutter. Thank you very much. And we're going to score at 14.8, not cut, score. And then we have made our nice big square card. Okay? The next piece of thick white, and I haven't said, you can pause this video at any time and rewind by pressing at the bottom of the screen. You can ask me a question on the chat. We're going to pop this one in portrait vertically, and we're going to score first this time because we're making two cards, and I like to score the whole piece and then I only have to score once. So pop it in at 10.5 with it portrait and score. And then flip it round and cut it at 14.8. And then we have our two A6 card bases. All right. And we can actually put these two small ones to one side for now, because the first one we're going to do is the large square one. We're going to do this one first. And we're going to keep our trimmers out. And we're going to do a little bit of cutting first. Now, this is a little bit frustrating because I didn't have enough paper left. I've used my half of the pack. So I'm just going to see if I've got enough to do mine spotty. I might not have enough to do mine spotty, so I may have to use the words. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to use the words. But I'll do exactly the same sizing. But if you want, you can do your spotty like this one. All right? I've just not got enough left because I've already made my cards once. Let me just check the measurements. Okay, so for the papers, remember you can do spots. We're going to cut, we want 5 squares and it's 5.5 not 5 squares, 4 squares, and it's 5.5 centimetres square. So you want one of each colour, which isn't easy because we have to do it 4 times then. So 5.5, it doesn't matter which way you do it first really because it's a square piece. I was thinking actually some of the flowers would look nice cut out on the spotted paper, wouldn't they? Particularly think the leaves would look lovely cut out on the spots. So third one done. And a half. Actually, probably best cutting it. It doesn't matter with the spots because it doesn't matter which way up it goes, I suppose. With the letters it does. So I'd probably do it vertically first. Right. So I've got my 4 squares of paper there. Okay. And do you remember that piece of those pieces of coloured card, the ones that we didn't use for these, that we left to one side, well, we are going to use them now. We don't need the white one, so you've still got a full white one left, but we are going to use the other 3 colours, and we need to cut these at 6 centimetres square. 6 centimetres. So again, you will have loads of this left over, because this is all we are cutting now from this. So I'll give you a full sheet and you'll get so many cards from it. Okay, so I've now got 4 squares that are 5.5 centimetres with the pattern, and I've got, let me just check everything. I've got 4 with the colours behind in the 6 centimetres. So I'm going to take my glue. Where have I put my glue? I did get it out. I can't believe this. What time is it? I'm just going to check. Yep. Oh, it's so strange. I had my COVID vaccine last Friday, which was fine, and I've not been poorly with it, really. But every day at 2 o'clock, and I'm filming this now, and I've just looked at my laptop, and it's 13:58, so it's as good as every day at 2 o'clock since this enormous fatigue, like extreme fatigue, has just taken over. And I just yawned then, and I thought, I'm just going to check what time it is. 2 o'clock. So I'm going to position, I'm going to glue these on to each of my squares, like that. It's a bit strange that's happening. I wonder when that will stop happening. It's really weird though, it's the same time every day. I've rushed that one a bit and not glued it very well, but never mind. Okay, last one. Right, and this card isn't going to take us that long to construct, because obviously we've done all that work for that first hour, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my card. I'm going to cover that blotch on there. I'm going to open up my card so it's flat on the table. And I'm going to pop these on. And then I'll just show you what I like to do. So I like to, there is this blotch there. Right, I'm going to turn that over and have that at the back. It doesn't matter what order you put your colours in, by the way. Mix it up a bit. Do it different to me. I love that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to talk you through what I've done here. It's hard to get my head over and look properly without having it on the screen. But what you want to attempt to do, let's just say, this border all the way around sort of wants to be the same distance, and then this in the middle, yeah? So I'm fairly happy with that. So what I'm going to do then is take one off at a time. Don't sneeze. And just glue them on. And I love to use the wet glue, the Tombow, because I can just manoeuvre it a little bit. So if you've not taken part in the class and you've not purchased a kit from me, that's okay. Hope you're enjoying watching and crafting along, if you're crafting along. If you're in the UK and you fancy purchasing the products that you need, unfortunately these papers aren't available anymore, but we have some new patterns that will be available from Tuesday the 4th of May. So there will be links in the video description to my store, to the products on my store. So I'm just going to eyeball that. I'm more or less happy with that. Okay, and just give that a rub. Now, the flower, do you remember the flower I'm going to use is the 6. Oh, look, there she goes again. I can't believe it. It's that one. But we don't need it in whites. Do you remember we did one in green, in pear? I wonder what it looked like with a small one instead. I'm just thinking, but no, I like the one we've done. There it is. Okay, and I'm also using the larger centres, and do you remember we went through again, we did 2 lots. Rather than rummaging around in here, I found it for the last one. I was just going to say I can spot one from my previous. Right, now, what you need to look at, I'm going to use foam pads for this, and I did get some out, Julie. You need to just look at this because the leaves are slightly different shapes. Some are a tiny bit pointier than others. And you may want to sort of get them all the same. Oh, look, there's a little notch out of that one. It must have nibbled. Have I not done another big one of those? I thought I did. Oh yeah, I did. So I'm just going to match them up because some of them are a little bit narrower. There we go. I think that's that one. I'm just going to pop them. And now they all look the same. Yeah, some of them are just a bit chunkier. Right, that will do. Okay. So before we put the foam pads on, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue. When you're using something small, now this isn't quite a circle, it's sort of a flattened circle. So I'm going to pop these on first. Yeah, when you're gluing something small, rather than putting glue on the back of this and then popping it on and getting glue on your fingers, put the glue on the larger item and take the smaller item to it, like that. And then we're nearly ready, aren't we, with this card? So, oh man, I've knocked that one off. There, it's that way. And just pop a foam pad, only one, we only need one. and just eyeball it, get them in the middle. Like that. Yep. And then we've already die cut our label, so I am going to use a basic grey ink pad, and I'm going to use the Happy Thoughts because I know it fits in nicely. Now this is finishing at the end of June, so if you do like this stamp set, it's currently in the mini catalogue. Yeah. So grab it while you can. Okay, now we have already die cut these, so we don't get many chances, if any. There we go. Happy birthday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to also pop that on some foam pads. And you can use these little pointy bits to work out where the centre is. And I'm going to tuck it, the corners sort of under the petals. Let me just see, that looks okay. Looks like it might need to go up a little bit though. So just grab the petals and tuck them over the die like that. Okay, and there we have, oops, our first card. How easy. Looks very different, doesn't it, with the words as opposed to the spots. But we've assembled that in less than 20 minutes. So once, as I say, this is what I mean, once you've done all your die cutting, it's really quite quick to construct your cards. So let me just have a tidy up, and I'm going to take you onto the second card. Now what I've tried to do is I've done the medium card, as in medium level of difficulty. I've done the medium one first. We're going to do the hardest one. So that's the warm up. We'll do the hardest one now, middle one, once we're warmed up, and then we're going to do the easiest one to cool down. So we're going to take, oh, I nearly knocked my drink over. We're going to take one of those, you know, those are the card bases that, oh, I've not folded that right, cracking. We're going to take one of those card bases that we did, okay, and we're going to grab our papers again. Now, this is the hardest one, but I don't want you to panic over it, actually, because it's the most beautiful one too. And this card has had my most views and likes ever on Instagram, ever. So obviously a lot of other people think it's a lovely card too. So let's construct it. Now, it's a patchwork design, and these little squares are 3 centimetres, and we need 12 of them. All right. So you will have lots of paper left already. Yep. And I am going to use the scraps that I've got, and I'm going to use a combination of some of the spots and then some of the backs of the spots, but also I'm probably going to use some of the words because I want to keep, the last card that we're doing is this one, or you could do it the other way like that. And I want to keep some paper, be aware that I'm keeping some paper for half of the bottom of one of those cards, so just be aware of that. So, but these little bits are fine because they're not going to be going on the half of my card. So we're cutting at 3 centimetres square. Now it's probably easier to use the 3 at this side. So don't really know. I've used 3 green ones. So I suppose technically what we should do is use 3 of each colour, and there's 4 colours, and that gets our 12. Yeah. I've got 6 there now, and I've got some more little pieces left. I don't know if I've got any lilac Highland Heather spotty left. I haven't. I've used it all, so I am going to have to use the words on some of it, but that's all right. That's okay. So we're up to 9, and now I just need some saffron. And please note, you can pause this video if you want to catch up on anything, or if you want to catch up on the cutting. But because we did a lot of the work before we pre-prepared, then you should be okay. It's just how confident you are on your trimmer with your cutting. But to be fair, all the measurements are the same. So I've got 12 pieces of card there, not card, patterned paper. All right. Now, whenever I'm doing one of these cards, I did it before, I always open my card out and do it flat on the table, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this card here, sort of to hold it down on the table, but also so I can copy it, because I've forgotten how I did it, and I love how I've done it, and I love which flowers I've used, and I love where I've used them. So I'm just gonna copy it, yeah. But I might change a few things up. Now, people were telling me that these go a certain way. Sometimes I can't see it, but myself. But I'm going to use that one there. Use one. I'm not. What I try and do whenever I'm doing these patchwork cards, I do lay them all out. And what you want to do is make sure that this measurement is the same as this gap and the gaps in between. I like to make sure, and you can see from the card I've done, that there's 1, 2, 3, but they're not all spots. 1, 2, 3, there's 2 spots, 1 not spots, 1, 2 spots, and there's just 1 spot. So there's not 3 of everything on one row. Yeah. And there's obviously never a repeated colour either. Yeah? Well, now, do I go spots there? Or do I go the other one? Okay, now when you get to the third, I'm going to go with that one there. When you get to the third one, third row, yeah, you have to leave a gap because it's not quite short enough for 4, but that's where the ribbon comes in. Yep, we have got ribbon. So what we're going to do is, once we've done 3, we move to the bottom then, and we work up from the bottom, like that. And we have a gap. We have this little gap here, and that's going to be a channel for our ribbon. And if you're using the writing, make sure it's the right way up. Okay, so that's going to be my patchwork. So it's just choosing what you want where. Now you could copy me. I've just copied exactly what I did last time. But the rule I try and have is I don't want any repeat colours on any of the columns or the rows. And I don't want more than 2 repeat patterns. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm just going to have a little drinky. Right. And what I do now is take them off. You have to be very careful with this. I've got a feeling I'm going to run out of glue, so I might have to go open another glue. And you will get stuck up today with glue. I take them off one at a time and glue them back down. I have done a large A5 card in this design, a similar design, for my retreat date, which worked really nicely. I'm just checking time, so this video's been going about 28 minutes, about half an hour with that intro thing, so it's probably 3:30 now. Okay, so my bottom row is done there. Yep, I'm all right with that. Okay. I love doing these cards. I just think they're so handy to use up your scraps, and they look effective. You could even do a bit of sewing on them if you had a sewing machine. And don't rush this bit, you know, getting them lined up. And keep maybe looking at your hands for, I've got a couple of dirty glue marks on mine, so I'm just seeing to that now. So thank you for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. New catalogue goes live on Tuesday, can't wait for that. And it's my catalogue launch and buy one get one free sale next week, which is amazing. Can't wait for that as well. And then the Saturday after, I've got my ice cream class on the 15th, and I've closed bookings for that now. I was going to do one on the 22nd, but I've been so busy that I haven't had time to organise it yet. And I've got an idea as well, so I might have to maybe delay that until on the 5th of June. I'll see. But I'm hoping to arrange some a couple of small in-person get-togethers soon in my new little office and test that out on a Saturday. Right, we're nearly there. Well, I'm nearly there. Okay. Looks to be a bit of a small gap between those two, but never mind. There we go. There's our little patchwork. Now, it looks something and nothing like at the moment, yeah? Because it's just a few squares glued on. But what we're going to do now is, if you have a craft knife, it is probably the best thing to use, but I cannot find mine since I moved. So, and a mat. I've got my self-healing mat, so I'm all good for that. But I'm going to have to use my scissors. Okay. Now, you must be really careful doing this. So what I'm going to do, I didn't even have a proper mat when I did this last time, is I'm going to use my scissors like a craft knife. And opening the card out on the spine, I'm going to cut about 1/2 centimetre width. It's the width of that ribbon that's in your pack. So here, if you look, I've not cut mine because that's going to go through and tie round. So I'm going to take my scissors and do a little, and that's a lot easier than when I did it. Oh, I've gone a bit too far now. And I'm going to feed my ribbon through there. Through the inside of the card. Now, I think I did you 1 metre of ribbon, which is more than enough. Absolutely more than enough. So I'm going to pull that through like that, yeah? Okay. And that's going to come round there. And we can tie that. Now, I'm not doing this upside down today. I normally do upside down. I'm going to experiment with this because this seam binding ribbon seems to do what it wants anyway. So I might want it going off like vertically, my ribbon. So I'm going to tie it in a bow here. But I like this ribbon. Lisa doesn't like it. Lisa was doing this class because she says she wants to iron it. But that's why I like it, because it's quite shabby chic and it doesn't look, I don't know, you can get away with it, I think. So I've done it like that, and I've got one tail going up and one coming down, which I wanted it a bit like that. And I didn't do the bunny ears, I just did like a normal tying of your laces. Okay, so what's going to happen, I've got like a little lip there actually on my spine thing. Hang on, I don't want to cut the ribbon now. It's stuck a bit. looks a bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this other die that we cut, I'm going to pop it over there, and those 2 points can sit in those gaps there, yeah? I think I'm just going to trim that bit of card. That's better. So I need to stamp my happy birthday again. What the man's doing next door, but it's banging about a bit. Right, bit of a happy birthday stamped there. And again, I'm going to grab some foam pads, and that's going to be positioned over the ribbon. Like that, yep. And now all we need to do is pop some flowers on. Yeah, I might actually leave that mat there because it stands out, doesn't it, on that for now. Okay, so I'm going to go for this 5 because I love that. It's like a daisy. Yeah, so I'm going to find everything I need for that. So I need that, and I need the little circle, well, squashed circle, and then I need 2. So some of them, that's the ones, so some of them are a bit longer and thinner, and some of them are a bit more squat. So that's going to go there. And this one is that one. Isn't it easier now that we've got all these cut out? With that little, and you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm actually going to use this 2-leaf one here. What you can do with these is you can manipulate them to move a little bit so they can do that if you want to. So I'm just getting everything out at the minute and working out where I want it to go. And then another 5 one, that one. Now we've got to watch this because my foam pads are a bit in the way. That's all right. And then that big one there is going to go behind there, and I need that small little circle in white. It's going to go there. Oh, it's coming together. And then that one can pop there with a little white centre. Oh. And another little 2-leaf. That. And then finally, a pool party. So we've got a flower in every colour apart from the green. And we've got one in the white. So a small pool party one. It's this one now. I've used 3 of this style. And that's going to sit in there like that. And again, I'm going to use those two leaves, 2 ones with 2 on. And another little, oh, I hope I've got enough of those little inner. Oh yeah, I have. There, okay. So look at all the stuff though I've still got left. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick these down. I'm not putting these on foam pads, I'm just going to stick them on. And then I'm going to pop the leaves in. Oops. And they can cross over and that can go there like that. Yeah. just use my ruler, my pool party ruler. At least it matches to hold that down. I think what I'll do for this one is glue the leaves down first. And have them coming out of that corner. And what I think is really nice is how they overlap onto the other square, but they pop because it makes the leaves stand out because they're on a different coloured background. Yeah? Am I rambling on? Or am I making sense? Okay, so I'm going to come down here. Just think that the stitches on here just make it, absolutely make it. This one's a little bit hidden, this green one, but it's important that it's still there. Yeah. Now this one here, can you see? I've actually sort of manipulated these to glue over each other. So I'm going to try and do that and pop them there. And so you can see how they look a bit different. So they're not sort of up there. If you can see that, I've squeezed them together. Let me show you that if I bring it closer to the camera. I've squeezed them together there like that. Just to make them look a little bit different. I should have been aware of where I was putting my foam pads for popping these on, but so far so good. And then we've just got the one in the centre to do that just sits behind the birthday. Now, you're going to not see much of these leaves, just really the top three. So bring it down here. So we've got a little bit overhanging there. And then, oops, I've moved it now. I might need to, that could glue there like that. Okay, just, yeah, I've messed up with that because of where I've put my foam pads, so. There we go, that'll do. And then a little bit of glue for the middle. And I have just realised, look, I'm matching. I've finished. Oh, I love this card. Just love it. What time is it? That's 44 minutes. So plus 40, so it's now 4:45. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a 15-minute break to tidy up. And we're going to do the final card, which will literally be a 10-minute card. So we'll come back on the final video at 4 PM. Okay. So I hope you've gotten okay with that. I've now got 2 of these cards, which is my favourite card this year, I think. So yeah, I can't wait to see how you've got on with these ones, and I will see you at 4 o'clock on here. Thank you. Bye.